Yeah. So we hope joining this program will help us to know more about IELTS. And the most important thing is how to get the highest score for IELTS. Among us, there is an IELTS expert, yeah, a trainer, and he has extensive experience teaching IELTS. Uh, his name is Mr. Tunjai Atalay. Okay, good afternoon, Mr.
Here in Turkey, it's morning, so I can
Oh,
tell you
okay,
good
sorry.
morning, but
Oh,
for you, good afternoon.
okay. Good morning,
No
sir.
problem. Good morning, everybody.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Anthony has got master degree in Manchester University, England. So, okay, now it's time to start our trial class. And now time is yours, Mr. Anthony.
All right. You have connected me sooner than I expected, actually. Uh, Hello, everybody. Again, let me open my presentation here. First of all, let's start a little bit to give information about what IELTS is. Well, let me arrange the toolbar so that I can have a look at the text. Try to minimize it. Okay. So we all know what IELTS is, International English Language Testing System. So it's an internationally recognized English test, which is taken by almost 2 million people every year, each year, all around the world. And we can easily say it's the most popular English test. Of course, there is another popular English test, which is TOEFL. But the main difference between TOEFL and IELTS is that IELTS is also taken by people who want to immigrate to a country for residency or for business purpose. But TOEFL does not have such a purpose. TOEFL only an academic test for people, for students who want to study in the United States or in different countries. Okay, as I told you, it's the only test which is accepted for immigration purpose. Let's say you want to move to Canada and you are not asked to take TOEFL or other exams. You are asked to take IELTS exam. That's the only language uh, requirement. And again, more than 9,000 organizations worldwide recognize IELTS. I mean, all around the world, wherever you go, we can say IELTS is acceptable in 99% of these countries. As I told you, IELTS has two different versions, one of which the academic version, the focus of our course and the focus of most of our students will be academic version, because the general training version is mostly for people who want to go to England or Canada or United States, whatever, to another country uh, to live there. I mean, to find a job and work or for business purposes. But the academic is the one for test takers who want to study at tertiary level, which is university, college, postgraduate, master's, PhD in an English-speaking country, or seek professional registration. So our course, the focus of our course, let me repeat, will be the academic version. Actually, I can give you some brief information about the difference of these two uh, versions of IELTS test. And before that, I can quickly go over the advantages of IELTS over TOEFL. First of all, if you're not a very, digital guy, if you don't enjoy reading texts from a monitor, or if you prefer paper-based tests or uh, write with a pencil rather than typing with a keyboard, you can prefer printed IELTS exam. That is, uh, I need to minimize this view so that I can see myself. Actually, I know I have to be located in front of the window, so I'm a little bit dark. I'm sorry for this, but this is the only option I could arrange. Okay. You can also take IELTS online. IELTS also offer, for the last few years, IELTS have started to offer online tests along with the printed one. And it's optional, whatever you want to take. If you want to take printed one, you can take the printed one, which is similar to TOEFL test in that in that sense. But still, even if you take, online version is similar to TOEFL because it's totally internet based. But still, even if you take the IELTS online test, the speaking part is not done through a microphone. You have a real person in front of you, a real examiner who is asking you questions and recording the speech, which is more natural. I think the main difference, the main benefit of IELTS could be its speaking part, because you're not speaking through a microphone. You're not speaking, in front of a computer, seeing nobody, which could be, really silly for some people. Yes, there are two different versions. This, I think, the greatest benefit of IELTS over TOEFL. And the second advantage, it's actually I have mentioned. This is an advantage that I have mentioned. It's face to face with a real person. Let's say, you were a little bit excited, in the beginning of the test. You feel a bit nervous. That person can give you some seconds, calm down. Maybe with warm up questions, you can, get better and have a better score. Another thing is, I also teach TOEFL. I also had a lot of students study TOEFL because yet still a very popular test. In TOEFL, the reading parts, even listening parts, even the speaking tasks are very subject specific. What do I mean with subject specific? It's like the texts are taken from, uh, United States university course books. One of them taken from chemistry course, the other from history course book, and they are mainly focused on academic texts. So, IELTS could contain more general text compared to TOEFL. This could be an advantage for most of us. And the last thing, again, this is an important, pro. IELTS is shorter than TOEFL. IELTS takes reading 1 hour. This reading 1 hour, I said, we'll have a look at it. Listening half an hour. Writing, again, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Speaking, it takes around 2 hours and 45 minutes. And even the shortest version of TOEFL is about 3.5 an hour, which is longer than TOEFL, longer than IELTS. Okay, I told you there are two different versions, academic and general training. First of all, the listening and speaking parts of these two versions are completely the same. So, repeating, academic and general training, listening and speaking are completely the same, nothing different. There are differences in reading and writing. Reading takes 60 minutes in academic, and there are 3 long reading passages, which are, from academic context mostly. But in general training, there are 3 reading passages. Section 1 has, it's mostly starts with a short text, short factual text, which could be a newspaper or a magazine. But again, I told you, no need to get into detail of this general training, as we are not going to offer general training course. And another difference in writing, in academic IELTS, you write, you have graph writing, which means you are going to analyze some graphs, some charts, some diagrams, some images. But here, you write a short letter, let's say a complaint letter. The main difference is the second task, second writing task, essay writing. Both of them have essay writing. So now I am going to have a look at. I'm going to show you, demonstrate you sample printed and online IELTS test. Now, you might have heard IELTS offers past papers. Means previously applied IELTS, authentic IELTS test. Right now, the latest version is this. Yes, academic 15. What does this mean? Academic 15. In this material, in this book, 4 previous IELTS tests are included, and it's sold out. You can buy it and get it from a friend, whatever. Here we have academic 12, which is a collection of 4 IELTS tests from, let me say, 4 or 5 years ago. I want to show what an IELTS test looks like. Okay. Now, an IELTS test, an IELTS academic test, starts with a listening. In each section of IELTS, including listening, reading, writing, and speaking, as you go along, the difficulty level, goes up. I mean, it gets harder as you can. First, you have a listening text, and you are asked to complete with one word or a number for each answer. Let's say you hear something, you either, if you take a paper-based IELTS, you write in the blank, or if you take computer-based, internet-based IELTS, you type these blanks. These should be exactly the same words that you hear in the listening part. So let's go on. I mean, the main difference between IELTS and TOEFL or other exams is that spelling is very important. Let's say you here the answer is steamship, and while typing, you wrote E instead of A. Even if you know it, actually, it's wrong. So spelling is very important in IELTS, successful in IELTS. Not only in speaking, but also in reading and writing. Yeah, this is the first part, and this is the second part. You listen to a conversation between people working in a kitchen and multiple choice questions, A, B, C, A, B, C. And then there are some more questions which ask you to choose 2 among 5 options. Again, this is a multiple choice, but you choose 2 among 5. There are lots of question types in IELTS. I can say more than 10 to 15 different types of questions. Here, again, yeah, with the same text, with the same listening text, you're asked to match the responsibilities with people. What is challenging about IELTS that could be that, normally, traditionally, we are used to matching options with the same number. Let's say there are four people and 4 responsibilities. But here, it's not the case. There are 4 people, but 7 responsibilities. Some of them will be left aside, will be omitted. All right. Section, and this is section 3, another listening, multiple choice, 1 word only, and then no more than 2 words. If you write here 3 words, even if it makes a sense, this is not true. So, as I told you, it gets harder as you go along. The section 4 of listening is harder than section 1. And reading part starts. In IELTS reading, there are 3 parts. The texts are similar, similar length, but it gets a bit longer, a little bit longer, maybe 10% in the third passage. For example, the headline is fork, which is an oak tree. The text about a tree and its use and its historical development, whatever. Yeah, the length is this. True, false, not given. It's not just true, false. We also have not given, which is quite challenging because it's really hard to find something which is not in the text. It makes the task a bit challenging. 1 word only, again. All the words you need to type should exist in the text, in the passage. Okay. For example, here, you cannot write a word which does not exist here. Does not. And second reading passage, 1 word only, true, false, not given. You can have a look at the type of the text. As I told you, if it was, a TOEFL exam, it would be very specific to a course in the United States universities. Let's say a text from a chemistry lesson or a text from a biology lesson. But here, we can see some more general text, such as this, collecting as a hobby. Okay, and about this, there's an activity, again, matching activity. you are matching headings with the paragraphs, but the number of the headings is higher than the paragraphs. So some headings are omitted, which makes it really hard to, complete. But we are going to practice for it during the course. And the third text, what's the purpose of gaining knowledge? Okay. Gap filling, yes. And here we go. We have writing. Task 1 is, we call it graph writing. It could be a bar, bar chart, it could be a graph, it could be a pie chart, a line chart, or an image. There might be images, a diagram. So you're asked to summarize this information. What does it describe? You need to briefly ask it. And you can write it, you should write it in 20 minutes with 150 words, which is not so much. You can do it if you are organized and if you are trained. This part is, let me say, 1/3 of writing. In terms of scoring, let's say out of 100, even if you do this wonderfully, you get 33, or you get 1/3. And this is essay writing, you get 2/3, which is, this task 2, is twice as important as task 1. This is an essay writing, opinion essay. It could be an opinion essay, it could be an advantage, disadvantage essay, or discursive essay. You need to write at least 250 words in 40 minutes. Again, an advantage of this compared with TOEFL is that in TOEFL you need to write 300 words in 30 minutes. Or in PT, Pearson test, you need to write, longer essay in shorter time. And the last one is speaking. Speaking also has 3 parts. I've told you before, a real examiner, a real person in front of you, he or she is asking you questions. This is like a warm-up. He asks you some personal questions such as your family, your work, or some familiar topics. And then in part 2, you're asked to grab a card, pick a card, and a card is, a typical card is something like this. A very common topic. Describe an occasion when you had to wait a long time for someone or something to arrive. You should say who or what you were waiting for, how long you had to wait, why you had to wait a long time, and explain how you felt about waiting alone. Now, you are given this card, and you are also given 60 seconds, 1 minute to talk, and then you're asked to talk up to 2 minutes. You can talk to 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes. But after 2 minutes, whatever you say is not recorded. So you need to summarize your speech in 2 minutes. And part 3 is about discussion. You are asked a little bit challenging question. Example, what kinds of jobs require the most patience? Do you agree or disagree that older people, the more patient they are? These kind of questions. And in total, IELTS speaking is 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So this is what IELTS look like. I mean, this is a real exam. This is not a sample, or this is not a simplified exam. This is a real exam. This is what a real exam looks like. If you take IELTS paper-based, you'll come across something like this. If you prefer computer-based, here we go. I want to show it a little bit. Self-study part. Yes, here in the material that we are planning to use, 4 authentic IELTS tests are included. Online tests are included. This is what an online IELTS, authentic, real IELTS exam looks like. Let's have a look at the listening part. Let me see if I have shared, yeah, the computer sound. Yes.
This is the IELTS listening test. Test 1. You will hear 4 different recordings, and you will have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you will have a chance to check your work. You will hear each recording once only.
Anyway, you
The
listen
test
to
is in 4 parts.
first part.
Part 1. You will hear a telephone conversation between an official at a village hall and a woman who wants to hire a public room. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6.
You'll have enough time, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay. Here. Why does it continue?
Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
It gives too much time for you to have a look at the questions.
Hello?
Oh, hello. I wanted to inquire about hiring a room in the village hall for the evening of September the 1st.
Let me just see. Yes, we have both rooms available that evening. There's our main hall, that's got seating for 200 people. Or there's the Charlton room.
Sorry?
The Charlton room, CHARLTON. That's got seating for up to 100.
Well, we're organising a dinner to raise money for a charity.
Okay, this is what the listening part looks like. You need to type in those blanks, or you need to click on it. For many people, it's a lot better than paper-based IELTS, because in paper-based, especially in reading, let me show the reading part. Especially in reading, you need to read the text in a few pages, and then the questions are in the 3rd page, and you need to turn the page back and forth. So for many people, see the text on the screen as a whole is a lot more advantageous like this. You see the whole text here. You can go up and down, and you can see all the questions here. So you can type in the blanks, or you can, click on it and that's it. Otherwise, if you took paper-based IELTS, it would be like, let's have a look at it. Here we go. The reading part starts, 1 page, 2 pages, 3 pages, and then questions here on the next page, especially, and there are 3 pages just about the questions. When you answer the questions, you need to go back and forth to the text. So it makes really hard to concentrate for many people. But here, the text is in front of you. You don't have to waste time going back to the text. Okay, this is what it looks like, an online IELTS exam. Let's move along. So what about the scores and their interpretation? You know, you might have heard from many people who have taken the IELTS. I've taken 7, I've taken 6, 6.5, 7.5. 6 is actually okay. I mean, for many universities all around the world, except the master's or postgraduate PhD degree, 6 is an acceptable score for many universities, colleges. But some universities may ask you to get a 6.5, or they can say 6 is okay. I mean, overall 6 is okay, but in writing, you need to get a 6. I mean, it's not okay if you get 5.5 in writing. You're not accepted. Yes. So 6 means competent user. You don't have to be a perfect English speaker to get 6 or even 7. For 6, it says the person has generally effective command of language despite some inaccuracies, inappropriate words, or misunderstandings. Can use and understand fairly complex language, particularly in familiar situations. Even to get 7, which is good user. By the way, you can also get 0.5. You can get 6.5, 7.5. And the good thing, another good thing about IELTS is that, let's say, you got listening, you got 6 from listening, and you got 6.5 from reading, and writing 6, and speaking 6.5. So here, what's your overall score? 6.25. But there is no score like, quarter score. 6.25 is converted to 6.5, which is really good. Your score is 6.5. Or let's say your score is 6.75. There is no score like 75, so your score is 7. Good, isn't it? Okay. 7, good user. 8, very good user. On page here. Okay, so how can we get a 7 from reading? These are, approximate scores, can change according to the, difficulty of that test, the test that you have taken. If you give 30 correct questions out of 40, it makes approximately 7. If you get 32, 33 out of 40, again, incorrect answers do not cancel correct answers. This is good, so you can get 7.5. We have some questions. Okay, I'm going to have a look at your questions at the end of the presentation. We'll answer the questions. Don't worry. I might already have answered your question during the presentation. Let's say there are 40 listening questions. How can I get a 7? Again, approximately 30. Reading, academic. We're not focusing on the general training. And there are 4 different criteria to assess writing. One of them is task achievement or task response. It means, has the test taker understood and responded to our task? I mean, has she really understood what is meant in the question? So this is 25%. This means, let's say there's an essay question about, say, should parents limit their children's internet usage hours? And you write very well, very organized, and with perfect structure, perfect words. You write an amazing essay, but you are a little bit off the topic. You write how the internet helps students' academic progress. So here, from task achievement or task response, you get a very low score. Coherence and cohesion is about the paragraphing, the organization. Like if the person has written the introduction paragraph, body paragraphs, conclusion paragraphs effectively, it's all about it, coherence and cohesion. Or if the person has used linkers, conjunctions well, and used compound sentence rather than simple. Lexical resource, if the person has a wide range of academic vocabulary, or does the person use very good, very bad, instead of, impressive, instead of disappointing, devastating. So it's about vocabulary resource. You need to show that your vocabulary level is really high. Grammatical range and accuracy. Yes. Do you form a well-structured sentence and expression? And in speaking is similar in lexical resource and fluency and coherence. Are you fluent enough and can you organize your speech well? 25%. Lexical resource, again, is your vocabulary range is rich enough? Grammatical range and accuracy, same. And pronunciation. Pronunciation takes 25% of. All right, here we go. And here there are details. I don't want to get into these. You can find them. You can find these rubrics. You search online. Okay, so let's get to our course, which we are planning to start. First of all, we are planning to start a course which is 60 lesson hours in total, and each lesson will be 45 minutes. The lessons will be conducted through Zoom like this, and you can record it. You can join it with your microphone or camera. You might have group exercises, group activities. will be twice a week, can be every Wednesday and every Saturday. We can start, it's not definite yet, but we'll probably start at this hour. Like, I guess it was 2 when you started. I mean, 4-hour difference, so at 2 o'clock, say. Well, Cambridge materials will be used. Second. This is the course book that we are planning to use, which is called Mindset for IELTS. There can be 2 different levels according to the placement test. Here I have written it. 2 different levels that have been planned. And after the placement test, we can use the 3rd and the 2nd level of this Cambridge Mindset IELTS book. Yeah. During the course, there are actually 8 units in the course book, and in each unit there will be a writing task. 4 of these writing tasks will be graph writing, part 1. 4 of them will be essay writing, part 2. And in each unit, every student writing will be checked by the instructor, who is me, case, during the course, and there might be some extra ones. Well, the book, the materials are used, prepared by Cambridge IELTS exam. This is something important because, you know, in many cases, people study IELTS using different sources. It's okay, they might be useful, but I certainly recommend my students to prefer Cambridge materials because Cambridge is the organizer of this IELTS exam, and Cambridge examiners are the ones who are checking, who are preparing questions for this exam. So it's really useful, a lot more beneficial to use Cambridge materials for units. Of course, well, I've just shown you what an online IELTS test looks like, and along with in the digital component of the book, there are 4 authentic online tests, online IELTS, full IELTS tests, and the students will be asked to do them after units 5, 6, 7, and 8. I mean, not in the beginning of the course, because they need some time to adjust to the exam, you know, to get used to the exam. But after unit 5, 6, 7, and 8, they'll complete those online tests and they'll see their progress. Online self-study modules and extra resources are included in the LMS. LMS means Learning Management. The main component of this course book, this printed course book, is an LMS, which includes this part for online tests, and along with this, there are online activities. Go back. When you click on this resources, you will see some yeah, I need to get back, not this. This is what the LMS is. Click on. Okay, here we go. In self-study section, it provides us 3 different opportunities. One of them, 4 authentic IELTS exams. I've shown it. And the second one is online skills module, which we can compare to a digital workbook. You click on it. In each unit, there are activities that you see here, there are 8 units, and in each unit, there are activities from reading exercise. Let's click on the 5th one. I don't know what it looks like. You have the chance to do them online and to get your answers and feedback online. Yes, this is the reading activity, reading it, doing the exercises, submitting, and then you see your answer. Let's see. Yes, I want to submit my result. Unfortunately, only one question was right. So, just when you get the course book set, you'll have the chance to use all these materials. Again, during the course, some extra materials will be presented. Will not be limited with this material. Some other resources, valuable resources, will also be presented. Yes, this is the format of the book, actually. Level 2, target 6.5. I mean, I can say level 2 is for students who are between B1 and B2. And level 3 is for students who are between B2 and C1. But it doesn't mean that anybody who can study level 2 will get 6.5. No, nothing. I mean, if anybody guarantees you, like if anybody or any course center tells you that you can get a 7 if you complete their course, I can recommend you to run away from there. Really, I mean, nobody can guarantee anybody's success because every study is individual. Of course, teachers can help, courses can help, materials can help a person to achieve a high mark, but nobody can guarantee success. So during the course, this Mindset IELTS has an interactive whiteboard material. As the teacher, I'll use this material. We'll study through this. We can see the answers here. We can click on it. So this is the digital version of the book, I can say. Or say we have a listening. We click on it. Listening. Yeah. We have the listening part. We click on it.
Track 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Museum of London Life.
We can see
My name's Peter, and I'll be your guide.
We can see the tape script when we study, when we listen. So this is the interactive whiteboard material that we'll be using. Okay. Yeah, that's all from me. I want to have a look at the questions in the chat. Okay. Can you make computer sound louder, please? Sorry, you know, I could not read them as I was doing the presentation. I hope you heard what was, but it was not so, I mean, crucial. Does it count as incorrect if we write the word in big letters or misspell the word? It's important. You know, when you type when you type, if you take the online IELTS test, you can type in capital letter or small letter. As long as you write it correctly, no problem with that. But if you misspell even one letter, it's incorrect. Okay? You should not misspell a word in IELTS, especially in IELTS listening. I have students. Let's say they out of 40 questions, they give 32 correct answers, but they misspell 3 or 4 of those questions and they get 28. So this is really important to focus on spelling in IELTS. I got 6, but LPDP scholarship asked me to get 6.5 at least. So you have a very, short way to go. You can improve maybe your writing a little bit, and you can easily get it. And another thing with the IELTS is that it's really, of course, studying, getting ready is everything, but chance is still a factor. That day you might type you might give 2 more correct answers and you can get a higher score, you can improve it. You can easily get it. I had students I had 2 brothers with whom we studied for 2 years actually. When he started the course, level was A2, I think. But 2 months ago, he got a 6, and he got accepted from he got accredited to Arizona State University, but that university requires 6.5 to start the first grade. Otherwise, he has to study prep English language school. So he's still trying. I believe you can easily get it. You can easily improve it. And then if 4 aspects, speaking, listening, writing, handika asked, okay, all got band 6, except on aspect I got 0.5. It would be rounded as overall band. Unfortunately, it makes 6.1, 6.15, so it's 6 again. But if you get one more 6.5, I wrote there, you remember, you can get it, 6.5. Okay. What practice do you recommend your students do for speaking tests? This is really important. Speaking has 3 parts. First of all, part 1 and part 3 can be done with a person. With an examiner, with a teacher, with an instructor. But yet, you can practice those skills with those tasks with your friends, even with your family, or you can pretend that there is a person in front of you. There are lots of valuable resources on the internet. Search, you can find it. Let's say for part 2, first of all, I can recommend you to find these sources, find these real exam papers, authentic papers. IELTS 12, 13, 14, 15. Now they have 15 books, 15 authentic examination papers, which means they present 60 IELTS tests. But I can recommend you to start from the latest one, because the latest one is the most updated one. So you practice with those questions. You have a look at the parts and practice it with a friend, with a teacher, or even you can, especially the second part, you remember this part, especially part 2, speaking part 2, you can easily practice on your own. Yeah, this one. You you record your speech on your phone or on computer, then ask someone to review it, or you can even check it yourself and see what kind of mistakes you have done, how you can improve it. For part 2, I have some materials. For example, I have a material which includes 100 part 2 questions, 100 sample part 2. Just practice them all. Keep practicing, keep recording, and listen to yourself. When you listen to yourself and when you review, you don't make the same mistakes again. But of course, the feedback of a teacher or anybody who has a higher level of English is really beneficial. So you need somebody to review and to report you your mistakes, and so that you can improve your speaking. Any other questions? Yeah, that's all from me. If you have any more questions you can ask. Otherwise, which part will be the hardest overall? Well, it depends on your weaknesses and your strength. Let's say you are a very outgoing person and you like speaking. So speaking part will not be a difficulty for you, but you're academically, you are very successful, your reading comprehension is really good, but you're a little bit shy and you don't enjoy speaking in front of a person or a crowd. So you are a little bit, you get a bit nervous during the exam. So speaking will be hard for you. But overall, I can say listening is the easiest part of IELTS. And for most of the students, listening is the easiest part of IELTS. If they practice enough, if you practice enough, you can get a high score from listening, because the content of listening is not academic. The texts are not academic. As I told you, general training and academic training listening parts are the same, which means, let's say, a barber from Indonesia wants to immigrate to London, and he takes that test, and the listening part in his exam and the listening part in your exam is the same, which is good for you. So it makes it easier. So again, it depends on the strength and weakness of the test taker. Okay. Any other question? Mr. Fikri, you can take over.
So I think all of the questions have answered.
All right. Still, if you have any more any further questions, I can happily answer all your questions.
What about this question? How to improve reading skill quickly and not boring? Have you answered that question?
No, I have skipped. Where is it? I can't. Is the the latest one?
Yeah, the latest one. And my chat
I
box.
can't.
The question is.
I don't know why. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. How to improve reading without getting bored? First of all, you need to read a lot, and you need to read from a wide range of topics, which means it's not enough if you read. Yeah, of course it's beneficial. Of course it's useful to read fictions. I mean novels, or how can I say, stories. But it's not enough to be successful in IELTS, because IELTS is an academic test, and your reading text will mainly be from topics like environment, technology, science, psychology, history, geography. So you need to read from a wide range of resources. And to my students, I recommend a platform called Flipboard. I don't know, have you heard of this before? Flipboard or Bundle. Okay. In Flipboard, you first of all you log in. Then you follow certain topics. Let's say these are my topics, my favorite topics: movies, photography, sports, technology. Blah, blah. You can choose articles and news from different topics, and these articles are presented to you every day. I mean, every day, a customized magazine or a newspaper is ready for you. And you keep reading these articles, you keep reading these materials, news items. So this is very useful, and I recommend most of my students, and they benefit from, they say they benefit from this a lot. Again, I'm repeating Flipboard. It has an app, Android or iOS app as well. You sign up for this, you choose your point of interest, and you keep reading. You keep reading. So as long as you read, your reading score will increase automatically. But there's something that we should admit. As these exams, IELTS, TOEFL, or PTE, are academic exams, academic tests. Every reading passage may not be enjoyable, may not be exciting. Like, not everybody is interested in agriculture. So, especially young people, I don't think each of you, all of you are interested in agriculture. So, even if it's about a topic that you're not interested, you should read. You should read text from different range of topics. Well, see, it's about history. You may not be interested in history, but you should read it if you want to be successful in these exams. About being bilingual, about being language education. You may not be interested in language education, but if you want to be successful in IELTS, you need to read it. Okay. The other one is bundle. Yeah, this one. Again, this is very similar to Flipboard. You can type the bundle, and I can even type it here. Flipboard bundle. You can ask the course, Ocean course, about my details. If you want to contact me, I can happily help you with your IELTS studies or with your English studies overall. Okay, I'm not typing it here right now. Somebody has asked my WhatsApp number, so my response is for him or for you overall. You can contact me with the course center. Okay, Ocean course center. Yeah, that's it. I guess that's it for now. Any further questions? Okay. So thank you very much for your participation, for your interest. And I hope to meet you someday somewhere. If you join the course, or even if you don't, I can happily be helpful to you. Okay, take care for now. See you later. Bye.
See you later, Mr. Atalay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Atalay, for your presentation. And I think it's very great for, especially for the student here who want to take IELTS for the first time. And thank you also for all participants have joining with our program. If you want to take the IELTS preparation course, maybe Ocean will inform you. We will give you offering letter. In that letter, there will be included the price and also the schedule of our courses with Mr. Atalay. Okay, I think that's all enough. Thank you very much for